Hello, everybody. My name is Fred Davis. If you don't already know me, then let me introduce myself as the founder of Awakening Clarity Now, the website and the publishing house, and as the originator of the living method of spiritual awakening, which is a method of bringing about immediate awakening to people who have been seekers for 2 days or 50 years. It makes really no difference. It's a matter of having conversations with people in depth, and doing inquiry with them. And I'm not, God does all the work and I get all the credit. Isn't that a nice arrangement? And so if I say I wake people up, I just mean it feels like I do, but obviously there's no Fred, so there's no possibility that Fred Davis does it. This unit is a stand-in for God, you could call it. And a poor selection at best, but here we are. This is the way it fell. So we we are bringing you several different courses. There's some Sunday Satsang, which is very important. That's the core of everything. We have Sunday Satsang from 2 to 4. That's Eastern Standard Time. And or Eastern Daylight Time, for that matter. It's still 2 o'clock on Sundays. And adjust your clock accordingly, Europe, and etc., Australia, the rest of you. So we bring you different vehicles to help you, to encourage you to awaken, and to awaken spiritually, to awaken to your true nature, to become, as they say, awake. And this awake thing that we're talking about, it sounds like that we're talking about waking up somebody, and we're really not. We're talking about we're not talking about waking up anything. Actually, what we're talking about is coming to recognize awakeness itself and true nature. And you are actually already awake. You don't recognize this because you think you're a human being, but you're not. You're just not. You're awakeness itself. So is this. So is everybody else, and so is this pocket knife, and so is my dog. Right? It's the same. The tree outside. There's only awakeness. But in at least the human example, I don't know about the animal kingdom, but in at least the human division, so to speak, of life, there is the ability to wake up consciously, by which I mean that awakeness itself comes to recognize awakeness itself. And when that happens, it may feel to either awakeness or the body that it's flowing through may feel like that Fred did it, or Bob did it, or Carol did it. You may say, I woke up. The first time that awakening occurred here, that's exactly what I did. I said, woo, I woke up. I can't believe it. I finally got it. And by that statement, you need to recognize that what I'm really declaring there is that the experience is already over. So awakeness was here for a brief period. It was recognized. But it did not have any duration because there's just simply too much ego here. It just overcame it in a very short time. And that's the typical experience. And as a result of that experience, what happens is that we remember that we had an awakening and that it got cut short by some means. And it was like really cool, felt good, looked good, everything was fine. But maybe for the first time in my life, and I saw that everything here was fine. And then it feels like what? It feels like I lost it. And probably through doing something stupid, because that's doing stupid stuff, is what it feels like I have been doing all of my life. But in fact, this unit had never done anything. It's all being done by awakeness itself, which is the animating presence that's flowing through this body. We think we are these bodies, but we're not. We're the animating presence that's flowing through these bodies. Now, from a standpoint of awakeness, we can't say that we're not these bodies because we can't say we're not anything. There's only one thing going on from the standpoint of oneness, but there's a principle prior to that too. We don't need to see it and recognize it. It can happen, but it's unnecessary. The biggest thing is to recognize that the one who wants to wake up, in my case, Fred Davis wanted to wake up very desperately to the truth of God. And what happened was that the truth of God woke up to the fiction of Fred Davis after all, instead. So it was a character that wanted to wake up. So because then the character would be better, bigger, cooler, smarter, whatever. Certainly more respected, treated better, treated the way I should have been always, which was with deference, right? And these egos just go nuts, don't they? And, you can laugh at mine, but take a good look at yours and see if you aren't guilty of some of that same stuff. So it's just part of being human. There's nothing to be ashamed of about it. And but certainly nothing to be proud of about it. So what we want to do is we want to come to the living method of awakening by first being honest with ourselves. Can we possibly tell ourselves that we actually don't know what's going on here? Can we come to tell ourselves that I don't know what I am and I don't know what's going on here? And as a result of not knowing those two things, I can't know what is wrong here. And in the absence of there being anything wrong, you find perfection exactly as it is. And this will never be understood from an intellectual standpoint, from the unit standpoint. Although it can be understood intellectually later, but that'll partially. But that's really awakeness's job. It's not this unit's job. There's nothing here to learn. Trying to learn this is the problem. Trying to figure this out is the disease of seeking. Because seeking is like a disease. There's nothing behind it. It's kind of like, it's very much like other addictions like alcoholism, drug addiction, sex, spending money, whatever it is, which means that the thing is that I'm just not quite right. And I want to get right. And the only way I know to get right is to get awakened. And having figured that out, I'm not going to tell myself that that's just stupid and wrong. And it's not stupid because we don't know any better. It's just ignorant. But it is wrong. And I'm talking to one who is not wrong, because I'm talking to awakeness. And the one who's talking to you is also awakeness. And if you'll notice that what we're talking about here is what? It's awakeness. And that's because there's nothing else to talk. And there's nothing else to talk about. That when you are oneness, you discover that the only thing you can talk about is oneness, although from a relative standpoint, it will look like we're talking about football or flowers blooming or something like that. But in fact, it's oneness talking to oneness about oneness. It's the only thing that can ever happen. And it's really, this is so simple. And I know that really grates on you because it grated on me, that idea that this was the most obvious thing in the world. But I want to tell you, it's the most obvious thing in the world once it is. Until it is, it sure as hell isn't the most obvious thing in the world. It's the most impossible thing in the world. And the reason is we're just too close to it. So it's not that it's too difficult. It's that it's just too easy. It's not that it's too complicated. It's just that it's too simple. And the mind can't grab hold of that. The mind wants something with lots and lots of strings and stuff that it can pull, and doors that it can open, and doors that it can close, and all this and that and the other. And it's just mind stuff. And what you've been going through as a seeker is mind stuff, every bit of it, unless you've had a glimpse, or an awakening prior to this. You can have an awakening and not recall it, because the one who wants to wake up over there is not the one who wakes up. So it felt like Fred Davis wanted to wake up, but given that there is no Fred Davis, that is an impossibility. So in the absence of Fred Davis, I just find this, whatever it is. But one thing I notice about it is that it ain't sleeping. When your name's awakeness, it's a pretty tough call to actually go to sleep. You can't, but you can think you did. You can think you have, you can think you are. We're here to help you with all that. And we have awakening sessions. We have satsang every Sunday. We have a group clearing series. There is going to be a Beyond Recovery series, a Freedom Beyond Recovery. My first book was Beyond Recovery, Non-Duality in the 12 Steps, because I am an old addict, and but those addictions are not active now. And we want to help you to calm yours, as a matter of fact, and we can do that. We're starting a new course on in January of 2024. So please join us for that. I'm also going to be having this. We have the group clearing sessions for people who want to go further with this thing, because you either pursue the awakening that you discover, the enlightenment that you discover, the whatever it is that you discover, you pursue that or you lose it. That's pretty much it. There is probably a third way. I've heard there is, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never talked to anybody who got it that other way, meaning that I just woke up clear as a bell and never had another question. And people think that's what happened to Jesus and Buddha and Eckhart Tolle, but Eckhart spent 3 years in the park. Jesus spent many days in the wilderness, and Buddha kept on teaching for another 45 years after he woke up. So this clearing process that I like to talk about is really it's not to clear up the unit or the character, because there isn't one here. There's a unit, but it's not, it's here on some levels, but it's not here on others. The character is not here on any level. It appears to be here in relativity, but it's not. But any rate, we want to help you. We can help you. We have helped thousands, literally. I mean, probably, I don't want to blow a big number out there, but I've been doing this for 12 years on the internet, and was doing it for a couple of years prior to that. So I was doing it all day long for a very, very long time. I kind of think that I've had, classes of people. So my thinking is that I've probably woken up a couple of thousand people. I may be off by some, but it's not wildly off. And so what I'm saying is that these couple of thousand people, they were just like me, and I'm just like you. They're ordinary folks. And somehow we came to hit what is considered to be the spiritual lottery, but it doesn't have to be the damn spiritual lottery. It's not that waking up is not the hard part. Everybody thinks it is, and therefore it is. But it doesn't have to be. The hard part, and I don't know any way around it, is clearing, is coming to abide as awakeness permanently. So if you're interested in that, go to awakeningclaritynow.com for more information. You will find everything that we offer. There'll be links there to other pages and sites and stuff where you can find information on us. And come on, join us and come be my friend. I want to be your friend. I am your friend. You just don't know it yet. So I will see you soon, or I'll see you later. But I'll bet you one thing: I do see you again. Bye for now. I love you. Be careful. Bye-bye.